seated today, and then we'll go down to our back halfway through this, but start upright. And let your awareness settle into the sit bones. Notice your starting point. Notice where you're at. Just observing where you're sensing tension in the body. And just by becoming aware, we start to relax those parts of our body. And start to slow your breath just a little, not trying to get very forceful, but just observing if you're breathing in the upper third of your lung, and start moving into our diaphragmatic breath. Creating a really slow, steady, silent pace through the nose. Notice if you're shifting your weight to one sit bone more than the other, make a very slight adjustment, and then bring your spine directly out of the center of your pelvis. You can very lightly pull your belly on the inhale. Exhale, relax the belly. Inhale, start to pull the belly. So we're just starting to create a little bit of heat in these muscles. Just a soft pull in. Exhale, release. Inhale, pull the belly. And there's certain tendencies that most of us have unconsciously pulling the navel when we're excited or stressed. So when we pull the navel with awareness, we're actually working to start curbing that in our autonomic response. Creating some pathways of awareness. And let's do a little breath of fire, warm up. We're not going to get too vigorous, but we'll warm up the torso. So inhaling and begin exhale. You don't need to go very fast, but pretty forceful. Like focus on a pretty forceful breath and then a very soft inhale. We're not forcing the inhale. There's two different pranayamas here. So if we do a forceful inhalation and exhalation, we're moving to Bastrika, which is a really powerful breath and can be very overstimulating. So with this Kapalbhati, the breath of fire, we're just forceful exhales, like pretty forceful. And then just observing that passive inhalation. Come back to your regular breath. And just observe any difference that you may feel in your body just from doing one round. We're going to do one more round. So we can begin with a deep inhale and then forceful exhale. Back to your breath. And just observe how you feel. And then inhale both arms straight up. Reach up through the fingers and then bring your right hand out to the side. Reach out and then we're stretching through the fingers in both directions, pressing to the left sit bone. Maybe start to find a very slight twist. It's not super exaggerated. Just press that left shoulder back a little, right shoulder a little forward. And then come up, over, reach through the left fingers, reach through the right fingers, pressing to the sit bone. Right shoulder a little back, left shoulder a little bit forward. And then back over to the right. Really reach out. It's like you're trying to fly your fake airplane, and then circle your arm. Left arm, as big of a circle as you can make. And then reverse. And then coming up, over, really reach out through the left fingers, right fingers reaching up. Press to the right sit bone, big circle. And then reverse. And then coming up to center, just rest your hands next to your side. Elongate the spine. And then bring your legs forward. So frog legs. We'll do the same hip. One of the hip versions that we did on Wednesday. So only drop the left leg. The right leg is going to start to move last minute, but really try to isolate each hip coming up to center. Now shift the right leg over towards the left, center, and then keep moving gently, but working towards your full range of motion. So you're pushing the hip each direction. The left hip is pressing to the right. And then right hip pressing to the left. It's almost like when we do that full, or when we're static and then we're forcing the hip. We want to find that range of motion here. So the hip's moving, then it's moving as the leg moves. And then center. Straighten the legs. Sit up tall, flex your heels. Now circle the ankles. Try to stay up long in the spine, circle the opposite direction. And then flex the feet, point the toes. Gently pulling the belly in here, trying to get rid of a low back arch, possible. And then we're going to drop the feet over to the right, big arm circle with the right hand. Now we're going to lift the left hip up. Try to lift the left arm up in the air. Little bit of a warm up. Lower. Toes move to the left. Left hand, we're going to do a big circle. Right arm comes up, pick up the hips. And then lower. Waking up the muscles, we're going to stretch. So bring your arms to a T. Reach your right arm towards the left. And then center. Left towards the right. Center. Now add the breath. Exhale, twisting. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. So we're doing a powerful breath. Not as powerful as our Kapalbhati, but really inhaling quickly, exhaling quickly. Next time you come to the right, grab the outer right foot or the outer right leg with the left hand. Right hand's just going to rest next to the side. And then pull your belly a little. Press to the left sit bone. Pull the heart forward. If you're feeling really flexible and want to touch your head to the leg, go for it. Otherwise, think about the chin staying active, because then we're getting in between the shoulder blades. We're actually targeting the upper back. And we're doing it with this left scapula along, like, what's the word for it? It's at its maximum extension. So we're getting into the muscles a lot differently. We're rather than like if we were using a band and we're creating that compression, we're pulling, we're pulling in two directions here, and then we're getting in under the shoulder blade totally differently. So this is a good one because I know that it has been mentioned no one wants to get the dowager's hump. Chin up, when we think about that elongation, that's specifically targeting that. Come up over, grab the outer leg, press to your left sit bone. If it's comfortable and you want to forward fold, great, because you want to target the low back. Otherwise, you're pulling your chin forward. And then we're pressing the right shoulder back as we pull forward. So we're getting into those muscles. Now, release, come center. Take your hands on top of the shins. Pull your belly. Start to move the hands towards the ankles. It doesn't matter how far forward you go. Maybe you have the space to grab your big toes with your peace fingers, so then the thumb's on top of the toe. And we only want to do, if you're there, then we can start to bring our elbows in. So it's a different stretch on the shoulder. If that is not available for you, you're actually still getting into this part of the shoulder region. And that's what we want to target here. So chest is forward, pull your belly. If you can drop the elbows a little, great. But if not, you should be feeling it in the back of the arm as well. And then start to slow your exhale. Exhale longer than your inhale. I'm just going to do a little bit longer hold. Just notice the release that's happening. Chin getting a little bit closer to the floor. Could just be such a tiny movement, but it's still happening. Come up and then bring your legs in. We're going to do a twist. Release any compression there. So right arm up, reach up, really long spine, back. Bring the hand as close to the hip as feels comfortable. Feel your spine lift. Left arm up. Reach as far across as you can. Maybe that's the leg. Maybe you can reach your fingers a little bit further out. And then we're pressing to the left sit bone. Pull your belly. Maybe you want to twist a little deeper to look over the shoulder, but here, because of the exaggerated reach, we're targeting our back a little bit differently. So just go with what feels right for your practice. And you should feel this differently in the shoulder region as well. Very gently come center, and we'll go opposite side. Really big left arm sweep back. Hand as close to the hip as possible. Feel the elongation in the spine. Right arm up, and then reach across past the leg. Press to your right sit bone. Take some breaths here. If you want to look over the shoulder, you can. But do what feels right. We don't want to create the strain in the neck. We don't want to go for that extra strain. We want to be at the edge where it's like, whoa, this is a really good stretch, but we don't want to feel like we're cramming, like starting to go to the point where we're forcing something. That's the weird, undefined edge of yoga, coming center. Now hands on the legs, big circle with the heart. Going to reverse the direction. Better. Bring your legs forward. We'll do Agni Stambhasan. So double pigeon or fire log, sometimes it gets called that. So bring your right ankle over the left thigh. And then we're going to bring the right leg in. So here, typically we're ankle right over knee, knee right over ankle. Try today, and we've done this before, take your ankle off the thigh. This changes the stretch pretty dramatically, in my opinion, but in a good way. So if this feels like totally not where you want to be, you can go back to the traditional way. We're going to shift our weight to the front edge of the sit bones and then elongate the spine. Bring your hands in front of the legs. If you've got it, sliding the hands forward, maybe you can bring your elbows to the floor. Maybe you're going to stay up on your fingertips. Think about the chin pulling forward. So we're pressing the shoulders slightly back, belly is a little in, and then we're flexing both heels. So now it's very active. We're creating that resistance band effect. And we're getting into the deeper layers of connective tissue. So our ligaments and tendons primarily, but like the deeper layer of muscle as well, because muscle stacks and it's moving in many directions. Now, if it's comfortable, start walking your hands towards the right, finding a twist. Still pressing the left sit bone, belly still in. Very gently walking back to center, now over towards the left. Up. Take the knee, right knee over the left for your shoelace. And just take a moment, pull your belly like you're trying to tuck your tailbone and just feel the engagement in the hip flexors. Pressing gently on the ankles, keeping your spine really long. And now interlock the hands, press the palms up, pulling the belly slightly. Pull your spine. Get that deeper stretch in the outer hip region. And then we're going to do a dramatic arm reach out twist to the right. So reaching the right fingers back as far as possible. Pull your belly, maybe look over the right shoulder. Inhale the arms up. Just keep the fingers wide, pull the hands up. Start to shift forward. Reach your hands as far forward as is comfortable. You can start sliding your fingers out. We're pressing back to the sit bones. So we're not letting all of the momentum or our weight move off the sit bones. Maybe you can tuck your chin over your knee. Gently pull the belly. Now start to walk the hands towards the left. Maybe bring your right hand on top of the left hand. center, and up. And we'll switch legs. Extend the legs forward, flex your heels. Now, left ankle over the right. Bring your right leg in. And maybe walk that ankle off the thigh. Sitting up tall. Pulling the belly. Now shift your weight to the front edge of the sit bones. Hands in front of the legs. Start to slide those fingers out. Maybe you can get your elbows to the floor. Maybe not. You're just going to your edge, belly in, chin pulling forward. Keep the feet flexed. And then start to walk the hands towards the left. And now over to the right, pressing those sit bones evenly, as even as possible. And then very gently coming back to center, take your left knee over the right. Sitting up tall, hands resting on your ankles. Try to tuck your tailbone, pull the belly. Elongate the spine. Really activating the muscles we're moving into. Interlock your hands, press your palms straight up. Push up, pull the belly. And now we're going to do a dramatic twist with the arms. Really keep the arms reaching out as far as you can as you twist to the left. Fingers, the left hand stays back. Look over the left shoulder. Inhale, center, fingers up. Start to forward fold here. Keep weight pressing to the sit bones, sliding your fingers out. Maybe you can hook your chin over your knee. And start to walk the hands over to the right. And back to center. And coming up. Bring your feet together. Butterfly pose. Pulling the belly. Start to hinge forward. Maybe start by reaching your chin forward. Pressing the shoulders back towards center. Belly a little in. We don't have to like pull the navel as hard as possible here. Just staying aware of this region. Now, if you want to bring your head to your feet, you can. And then sitting up. Bring your feet forward, flex the feet. Find a nice bend in your knees. Hands come up, pull the belly. And then start to hinge forward, grab the feet. We want the big toes pressing forward. As you find space, the feet are moving forward. Try to keep your chest connected to your thighs. Maybe relax the head. Maybe you're going to pull the chin. Whatever feels right for your practice. And then coming up, wiggle your feet, circle your ankles, circle in the opposite direction. And now coming down to your back, Bring your knees into your chest. And then very gently press your shins into the forearms, getting a deeper low back release. You don't have to use a lot of force here, just a little bit of exertion to maximize the stretch. And now we'll hold the right leg, extend the left leg forward to the floor. If this is uncomfortable, bend the knee. Otherwise, leg is straight and you're flexing the heel, and then the right foot can be hanging out, whatever feels right. Curl towards the leg. Try to touch your nose to the knee, and we're just going to pull the belly a little. And find this nice stretch here. A little heat in our core. And then lower the head. Start to extend the right leg up. Grab the leg wherever is available, and you're going to start pulling the leg gently towards the face. And then release. Right leg forward, bring the left knee in. We're going to keep a flex on the right foot. And again, if it's uncomfortable to have your legs straight, bend the knee. Lift the head, try to touch your nose to the knee. Taking deep breaths. And then lower the head and shoulders, start to extend the left leg, grab what's available, and you're flexing the heel, pull the leg towards your nose. And then lower the left leg. Bring your right leg up, pointing the toes. We're going to circle as big of a circle as you can make. And we're keeping the left hip down. That's how you know your edge. We could be rolling the hips as well. We just want to move through and around the hip, not lift the left hip. And then we're going to reverse the direction. And notice if there's a difference in your range of motion from side to side. Not something to judge, just something to be curious about if it's there. And then lower the right leg down, and we'll go opposite side. Inhale the left leg up, point the toes, start to circle. Right hip stays down. So maybe place your hand on the right hip. Breathing, don't forget to breathe. And then the next time you come up to center, we're going to reverse the direction. Notice if there's a difference in your range of motion depending on the direction you're going. It's like these little moments of awareness actually will change the way we move into other postures. The more we're like, oh, if I do it this way, this is happening, then it's like we have more awareness also available at other points in our practice. Now lower the left leg and then both knees to the chest. Give yourself a hug. Gently push your shins into the arms. And then release your hands. We're going to do leg, just lift our legs. So if you want back support, hands under the hips. Extend the legs up 90 degrees, flex the heels. Maybe you want to work on elongating the spine. So hands above your head. And then we're pulling the spine gently through the fingers, shoulders stay away from the ears. Pull your belly, press the low back into the floor. And then from here, find a split. Extend out through the heels. And then coming into happy baby pose. Pushing the knees towards the floor, holding the feet from the inside. If we're holding from the outside, we're actually creating less range of motion in the hips. Holding from the inside, now the hips have more space, the shoulders have more space. Then bring your feet to the edge of your mat. Hands can be out to the side or right next to your side, whatever feels best. Just gonna windshield wiper the legs. And this time, the hips are moving as much as you want them to. So if you want to pick up that opposite hip, getting deeper into the stretch. And this also releases, in my opinion, a lot of tension in the glutes that may have crept up during the week. And then coming back to center, bring your feet hip distance. Take your right ankle over the left thigh, and we're going to find a reclining pigeon. So pull the left leg in. Keep a flex in the right foot. Push your right knee towards the short edge of the mat so that we're maximizing our stretch. Then we'll switch sides. Take the left ankle over the right thigh. Start to pull the right leg in. Keep a flex in the left foot. Push the left knee forward towards the short edge of the mat. And then pull. So we're creating that resistance band effect, and we're getting into the hip flexor on the left side here, which is really great because we're actually in a contraction. Where to get into the hip flexor, a lot of time you need to be in that extension, like hips hinging forward. So here we're actually finding a stretch with the contraction, and the effect on the hips is really powerful. And then release your feet to the floor, hip distance. And we're going to just tuck the tailbone. We're not going to pick up into full bridge. We're just going to work on releasing the back. So tuck the tailbone and lift the hips like just enough that you can slide your hands under the sacrum. And you should feel that activate the quads, maybe even a little bit of a stretch there. And then release. And then tuck the tailbone, lift just enough that you can slide your hands. And this should feel like a really deep low back stretch, hopefully. And then we'll do this a couple more times. On your last one, squeeze, hold, just that slight lift. Place your hands on either hip. Left hip is not going to move. Just drop your right hip. So really target that movement. Right hip is lifting. Now just drop the left without moving the right hip. Really trying to isolate Do the best you can do. Just keep switching sides. Have like a real maneuver to only drop one hip at a time here. And then let's release, hug the knees back into your chest. And then plant the feet, interlock your hands behind the head. And we're going to lift the elbows towards the ceiling, and then the head is heavy, the neck is not lifting, the arms are lifting the neck. Start to curl your chin towards the chest. Belly in gently. Find the stretch. And then lower one vertebrae at a time. And then release. Palms are facing up. Rotate your head to the right. Reach your chin as close to the floor as possible. Find the stretch here. And then up to center. Chin is reaching towards the left, as close to the floor as possible. One more, coming up, over to the right. Reach the chin as close to the floor as possible. Up and over. And then coming center. Bring your legs back into your chest, arms to a T, drop the legs to the right, look over the left shoulder. Press the left shoulder towards the floor. Focusing on the shoulder is more supportive of our spine. So when the shoulder gets to the floor, then we can start letting the leg get closer to the ground as well. Maybe they're happening simultaneously, but to force the leg means we're going to put more pressure on the low spine. Come up and over. Focus on pressing the right shoulder towards the floor. Now, coming center into Shavasana. And we'll do some systematic relaxation. I'm going to sit up to talk, but stay down on the floor and let your ankles move out towards the corners of your mat, and then let your toes fall out to the side so that the ankle joint is completely open and relaxed. And that also means the knee gets to relax and the hip also gets to relax. We want the palms up, hands away from the torso so that the shoulder is open. And just observing your spine for a couple of breaths, noticing any tension you may be holding. At this point, it would be very unconscious. We want to start to clue into that unconscious tension. Doesn't mean we won't continue to engage with it, but we want to have some awareness around the tension we hold in our body, and specifically the tension that maybe we are creating, not just the muscles holding. And then relaxing your forehead, relaxing your eyes and your ears, and relaxing your jaw. Notice any tension you may be holding in your jaw. And relax your tongue. We hold a lot of tension in this muscle. Relax your throat. Feel your chest let go. Feel the belly let go. And just feel your hips get very heavy. Letting your limbs get very heavy. And just observing the sensation of being supported. The floor is supporting you. And then bring your awareness to your toes. On your next inhale, imagine you're inhaling up from your toes to the top of the head. And not over the top. Imagine you could actually pull your breath up through your body, like sweeping your breath up through your body to the top of the head. And as you exhale, you're sweeping your breath down through your body to the toes. Inhaling up to the crown. Exhale down to your toes. Inhale to the crown. Exhale down to your toes. Inhaling to the crown. Exhale your breath down to your ankles. Inhaling your breath to the crown. Exhale your breath to the ankles. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to the ankles. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to your knees. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to the knees. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to the knees. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to your hips. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to the hips. Inhaling to the crown. Exhale to the hips. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to the center of your chest. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to the center of your chest. Inhaling to the crown. Exhale, center of the chest. Inhaling to the crown. Exhale to the throat. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to the throat. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to the throat. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to the middle of your forehead. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to the forehead. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to the forehead. Inhale, crown. Exhale, nostrils. Bring your awareness to the nostrils. Inhale, follow your breath all the way up into the forehead. Feel your breath moving through the nasal passageway to the sinus. Exhale back to the nostrils. Inhale from the nostrils to the forehead. Exhale back to the opening of the nostrils. Just stay with this pattern. Be aware of your breath. moving up to the forehead and then back down. Gently wiggling your fingers and toes. Bring your knees into your chest and rock over to the side. And just stay on your right side for a few breaths, letting all of the blood flow away from the heart. So we're actually impacting the cardiovascular system on the right side in a beneficial way. And then very gently coming to a seated pose. Keep your spine long. And just stay aware of the feeling in the upper sinus, that feeling in the forehead from the breath. And let's do a Nadi Shodhana. So alternate nostril breath. We're going to bring the right hand up. Take a deep breath in before blocking the right nostril. We're going to block the right nostril. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Release the hand. And again, notice the sensation in the forehead, your sinuses. You should be feeling them typically by now with this kind of forceful breath. We're going to do one more round of Nadi Shodhana, starting with the exhale on the right. So inhale both nostrils. Block the left nostril, exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale both nostrils, and again observe the sensation in the forehead. If you're not feeling anything, that's okay. Most of us have a little bit of congestion. So when we do these breaths, we start to feel that activation. It's like an opening up through some of that um, congested tissue. And it's just an easy place for us to rest our mind with inner awareness. So this is just meditation. We want to approach meditation just like this, not with a critical mind, not coming from our very busy day to just sit down. This is all it ever has to be. It's just making that connection with that inner still point. And that's where the benefit of meditation rises. And it's only 48 seconds required to make new neurological pathways, new synapses, which is pretty powerful. Our brain is so powerful. So we'll end our practice here, bringing our hands to prayer, bow your head to your heart, maybe tuning into a sense of gratitude for your heart, for your body, and just for your own mind, bowing down in reverence, rising up, rub your palms, cupping your eyes, holding your cheeks like this is the most valuable thing you own, covering your ears, pressing on the neck, which is a vagus nerve stimulator, and then opening your book, your palms like a book, and gazing into your hands. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a great weekend. It's snowing right now where I am, like these big fat snowflakes. So pretty.